Hello. Today I want to talk to you about things like intrusive thoughts, anxiety, depression, addiction, all of these different things that um, we deal with on a daily basis for some of us, right? So first of all, I just wanted to say that, I understand what you're going through. I, if you want to comment, to tell me what you're going through, I can try to help. I can try to respond to that. So feel free to do that in the comments below. But when we say things like, I have anxiety, I have depression, I'm addicted, I have intrusive thoughts, those statements, in my opinion, are incorrect. We should rather say, I'm experiencing anxiety. I'm experiencing depression. I'm experiencing addiction. I'm experiencing intrusive thoughts. I'm experiencing desire. So when we're in those states of experiencing, we aren't in a position to think about those states of mind. When you're in the experience of anxiety, or when you're in the experience of intrusive thoughts, you are not in the right logical state of mind, a calm, logical state of mind to be able to think about those things, right? Because those things that are happening to you, they're outside your true self. Your true self is your spirit, your I consciousness, which is within. And so when you're going through these states, you have to be able to step outside them and to see them as other. Um, Not to run from them, not to be like, oh, that's not me, nothing matters, I can just let that go, but more to step outside of it and to witness it, to understand that it's still a part of your being, but it's not you, right? So it's still a part of you. It might be causing physical processes and things that are happening within the body, but overall, it is not your true self. Your true self is indestructible, eternal, outside of pain, sorrow, worry, joy, all those things. Your true self is your higher self. It is your spirit, and it is able to if you're able to understand just that concept, that your true self is not your anxiety and your depression and all these things. Now, everyone has different experiences, and the thing is that we can actually change our experience. We can change the disposition of our souls, and we can do exercises and we can do things that are going to help with these things. Um, it's not something that you just have to ignore, or you just have to do one thing or the other. There are definitely components to it that I think matter a lot, and I will go through some of those today. So the first step, I believe, besides understanding that concept, because in terms of understanding that these things are outside of our true self, um, when we don't understand that, it can lead to shame and guilt and confusion and self-hatred. But when we step outside those experiences as the witness, um, we're able to separate it out a little bit. And even if you can just give yourself a little bit of room to witness, you're on the right path, Okay, that's all you need. It's just that little bit of space to understand that that's not who you are. That's not who you can become. You have an infinite capacity to improve yourself. That's a fact. And it's the illusion of these misunderstandings that causes the fear. Okay. So coming from a non-logical standpoint of I have anxiety, we then stumble into that illusion that I am anxiety, right? We fall into the trap. We fall in, right? We get taken away from our true self. Um, and so if you can look at those things as a projection, right, is just a projection that is just it's a projection that you're connecting with and that is kind of causing that feeling, right? Like you're sort of giving that projection energy, if you will. Um, you're giving that projection the energy, which is strengthening that projection. So if you're able to let go of that projection, not fully, you can just experience it, right? You can experience the projection. You are not the projection. You are not the intrusive thought. You are not the anxiety. You are not the depression. So if you can get out of that illusion that you are kind of stuck in those things and also get out of the illusion of trying to necessarily like understand them on some higher level, right? Because a lot of times, especially if you have anxiety, and you're dealing with one of these other things like desires or maybe not that, but more intrusive thoughts, you're trying to find a solution to something that isn't really able to be solved in that way, in an anxious way, in a searching for the answer type of way. And so, that's kind of like that OCD as well that can play into that, um, where, maybe the compulsion is to go search online, which you might have done to find this video. So maybe that's a good thing. But, that compulsion to go do that, um, that's something that, um, it's because we got trapped, right, in the illusion of the thing being like this major issue, right? And it kind of caused an anxiety. And then we thought, oh, we need to fix this now. And I've gone through this, so I'm with you. I understand where you're coming from. Um, and so I will go into some things we can do for this, okay? So first of all, diet and consumption is important, okay? um, taking care of the basics to start, because if you're, eating the wrong things and you're watching, bad things and you're watching pornography and you're watching, um, Netflix shows that are sort of, sending you bad messages. If you're on social media a lot and you're scrolling through all these different things on YouTube and on social media, this is not exactly the best environment for someone who has these experiences. Okay, so I'm one of these people who have these experiences. I also am on social media sometimes. I also go through YouTube. I am trying to be better about that. But that's part of the consumption. That's almost part of the diet, the food, if you will. Thinking of it as that, thinking of it as you're consuming this into your consciousness. You're consuming the different things that you scroll through on Twitter, on social media, on YouTube, etc. All these things, you're consuming them and they're coming in, and they can trigger things that you wouldn't realize. And so if we can limit those things, at least we can limit it to at least maybe some positive things, some positive learning, positive knowledge creation, that can be good. So in terms of cleaning up your diet, I'm not going to go into totally what that is here. I would just say, try to eat organic foods, all organic, make sure it's organic. Make sure if you're getting meat, it's 100% grass-fed. Make sure if you're getting chicken, it's pasture-raised. Make sure the eggs is pasture-raised. And then also organic. And, 100% grass-fed milk is better than the other alternative. Just eating whole foods, not eating junk, not eating things with a bunch of ingredients like bags and boxes and things you get at the store in the middle of the aisles. Those are the basics. Also try to filter your water. If you can filter your water, that's also going to be beneficial. That's definitely going to help. And also mineralizing your water. So if you can mineralize your water, there's a company I think called Remite, Remyte. You can get that on Amazon, or wherever you want to get that. And yeah, there are different ways that you can mineralize your water. But that's also important. And then if you don't have that, spring water is a good option as well. So, I would also say light is a big deal. EMF, electromagnetic frequencies for people that are sensitive, spiritually sensitive, sensitive to these issues. You're going to be sensitive to those frequencies as well. So we do have to recognize that we are dealing with higher frequencies than, historically humanity is used to. So things like 5G, 4G, Wi-Fi, etc. So, little things you can do, download your podcasts, so that you don't have to have any data going. Turn your unplug your Wi-Fi at night. You can also turn off your electricity at night with your electric box, potentially in your room only if you have the capability to do that. We just need that break when we sleep from the frequencies. There's no doubt about it. We do need that break. We also need to limit blue light at night and in the morning. So when you wake up, give yourself an hour and a half potentially without coffee and also without blue light. While you're doing this, you can walk outside, you can get some fresh air and sunlight. If you can, just kind of walk around during the sunrise, walk around with your bare feet. You can also get grounding shoes, which are, there's a brand called Rizal, Rizal, that has grounding leather shoes. They're expensive. If you can't do that, you can just walk around with your bare feet. The rubber soles that we all wear around are not going to help you with grounding. And we need grounding to charge, right? To decharge ourselves. We're positively charged, the earth is negatively charged. It takes the charge away. So we do need those grounding protocols. Blue light glasses, I would say make sure you get a good pair that are orange, okay, not the white ones, those are fake, or clear, I should say, those are fake. Okay, now we'll get into the soul and sort of meditation, spiritual aspect of things. So a few things. We can get deeper into like what these things are in the future, but because I haven't covered the divine wisdom of the human being, or theosophy, or occult science, or things like that Rudolf Steiner covers, you can cover that on your own if you want to understand the human body. I would say Theosophy, just the book Theosophy, is a very good background to understand, what is the soul, what is the physical body, the etheric body, the spirit, what is the differences between those, and how is that playing into my health? But I would say a lot of what we deal with is the etheric body or the astral body. And so some ways that you can improve those things for yourself. One, if you have issues with forgetfulness, so I'm not sure if that's an issue that you have, but you can hide objects from yourself. What you want to do is you want to hide something that you know you're going to need the next day, like your toothbrush or something. And then when you put it in a hiding spot, you stand there, close your eyes, you look around you, you close your eyes, you picture that where you put it, everything around you. Then you walk away and you forget about it. You walk away and you just let it go. Then when you come to it the next day, give yourself you give yourself you can do an exercise too, which I can demonstrate, but well, I'm not going to do that now, but there is something called Eurythmy, which Rudolf Steiner goes into. There's a YouTube channel. I will link the YouTube channel and a few different things in the description that is going to help you guys go through this, right, and it's a Eurythmy, course. In fact, I'm just going to share the screen because I think it's you know what, I might as well. So yeah, sharing my screen here, and at least I thought I was. I think I am. Oh, here we go. Okay. So yeah, this is what I'm kind of going through now. We're talking about the A, right? So he can go into that if you want to learn how to do these movements of Eurythmy. They're going to help. I mean, they are going to help you. This is the channel, go ahead and check that out. I do think it's important. So yeah, and then you can do, for tenseness or jumpiness, you can do changing of handwriting. For self-doubt and burnout, you can do thinking in reverse. Okay, we have self-observation. So thinking in reverse is just thinking backwards, right? So, that's a little bit of a weird one. So, I understand not wanting to do that, but changing your handwriting, maybe put like one big letter and then small letters for every word. That's what I've tried to do recently when I came across some of these. So yeah, so we have self-observation, which is just, reviewing your day at the end of the day, go backwards. So you're taking care of two things at once. You're thinking in reverse and you're self-observing. But we talked about self-observation too, just stepping outside of those experiences that you're having of anxiety, intrusive thoughts, and depression and things. So if you can step outside yourself, witness yourself, literally as if you were someone else, as if you were, someone who was just watching you from sort of close, but where you can actually have a vantage point, where you can actually review your day, with no judgment and no, thought of like, oh, you should have done this or that. It's just an objective observation, and you just go backwards, for that. Another thing, changing habits, and we all know what habits we have and what we need to change, and so that will help. Dealing with wishes, so that is like if you want something, you're like, oh man, I really want to buy this cryptocurrency right now. Like I feel like I need to do this, it's guaranteed, and I need to do this. Well, what you can do, and this goes along with weighing up decisions, is you can then stop yourself from doing that. Stop yourself from doing those things. And then give yourself at least a day, right? Or sleep on it, as they say. So you can do that. You can sleep on it. And then you can, weigh the decision, make a pros and cons list. Try to look at it objectively. Try not to get caught in a projection, right? As we talked about before. You don't want to get caught into a projection of, for example, with the crypto thing, you don't want to get caught in a projection of like, I'm going to be rich. This is a guarantee. Someone is like, they've gotten to you, right? They've created a fear of missing out and a fear of missing this train, right? Of this, oh, it's a guarantee I'm going to get wealthy. And that's just a projection. That's not your true self. True self has nothing to do with wealth or money or, material goods. This is something that is just, it's our true self, like it doesn't change. We just have to find it. We have to find our true selves, but the only way we can do that is to come back to it and to see these things for what they really are, as the projection that they are. So yeah, weigh up your decisions. And then another key one is refraining from criticism. And when it says strengthening of the I, by the way, this is just saying the spirit. Okay, so our true self, strengthening of our true self. And it says being hunted by thoughts, right? So that's the intrusive thoughts. And it's interesting how that's associated with refraining from criticism. Isn't that funny? Because I struggle with that. And maybe that's why I struggle with intrusive thoughts. And so I am doing the best I can to try to hold myself back from that. And it's not just holding back from outward criticism, it's holding back from inward criticism. It's holding back from criticizing on a deeper level, right? So you can tell when you're working on this, things will come in, right? Someone's telling a story that you've already heard before, and they're going a really long time, and you're annoyed, right? You feel this, like you feel this feeling of, and you actually have to be able to stop that feeling, take genuine interest in the other person, take genuine interest in what they have to say. And, I would say that that's what's important, to take genuine interest. And that's really one of the most important things we can do during our time today, is to take interest. It's to take genuine interest in people. It seems simple. Seems simple, right? But we have to have a selflessness that is strong. Okay, so someone else is in pain, we feel their pain, right? Empathy, being selfless to the highest degree. So I hope that some of this helped you today. There are other meditation exercises you can do. If you're just looking to meditate, what you can do is you can meditate on an object, and that can be a spoon or a pen. Simple, like something simple, okay? So just take a pen, observe it, put it down, close your eyes, and think of that pen. Keep focusing on it. Keep bringing your attention back to the pen, back to the lighter, back to the spoon or the fork or the whatever it is, okay? Something simple. Keep coming back to it. Don't let yourself get taken away by these other things, right? Keep bringing yourself back to it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You will be able to do this. You will. It's a fact. We can all have the capacity to improve, and you have the capacity to improve. You can do this. And so once you do that, you focus on it for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, whatever you think around that time, 2 to 3 to 4 minutes. Then you drop it from your vision. Totally drop it. It's gone. Your eyes stay closed, and then you're thinking of nothing. Okay? Now you're just thinking of nothing. Thoughts come in, push it away. Thinking of nothing again. Thought comes in, thinking of nothing again. So just it's the same thing, except instead of thinking of the object, you're thinking of nothing, right? So this has helped me with intrusive thoughts, for sure. So yeah, something to think about. That's a good one. So I mean, I hope that you stuck around for till the end so that I could go through that. And yeah, I will make more videos to go into more detail about these things and to give you more exercises. There's so many exercises that we can do um that are just great and important for our healing and for our spiritual, self. So again, I hope you got something out of the video today. And if you did, please like, subscribe, comment below with the issues you're dealing with. I would love to help you. Love to help. So yeah, please do that. And yeah, no, this is great to be able to, get this information out there. And have a great day, have a great weekend, and God bless.